Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much, Steve, and thanks for having me. How is everyone today? That's 4 of you. How is everyone else? One thing you've got to understand as a speaker up the front here, I'm just like you. So I'm a mum, I'm a nanny, I've got 2 grandsons. Who's got grandsons in the room? Yeah, aren't they so cute? Wouldn't it be great if you could skip the kids and go straight to the grandkids? That would be amazing. Hands up who's in business in the room. Oh, most of you. Hands up who's working for someone else at the moment. No one. Oh yes, a few. Hands up if you're in business and you wish some days you worked for someone else. Many days like that, especially when it's bath time. I hate that stuff. All right. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. I've been moved. That's all right. Hopefully I don't mess that up. Okay, get that later. Okay, that's better. All right, so we've got about 73 minutes left together. Would it be okay with you if you are present in the room? It's not for me, it's actually for your benefit. Because when we take ourselves out of our environment, whether we're here because we're avoiding doing something at work, or we're here because we genuinely want to learn and grow our mindsets and our businesses, I'm all about being present. I promise you, fake book will wait. As Steve said, it's an interesting place and it's all about fakeness. It'll wait. Those posts will still be there later. Our emails will still be there later, and anything else we have to deal with. We've got about 73 minutes together, and I would love it for your benefit so you can get the most out of everything I'm about to share. Would it be okay? Give me a yes if you're willing to be present in the room. Excellent, thank you. That was more than said hello to me this morning. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about a few different things this morning, and one of the things that I would love you to do is put yourself into the situations I'm speaking about. Because no speaker, be it Greg or Danielle or anyone else who's speaking here, no speaker speaks for themselves. They speak so that you can get the most out of whatever it is they're sharing. So try and picture yourself in the situation. Really dig deep. I'm known as the why woman because I've been on this passionate journey for many years now in helping other people find their why, their true purpose in life. Who's watched the Simon Sinek talk, It All Starts With Why? Great, many of you. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's a real shift in mindset. And it was 8 or 9 years ago I watched it, or whenever it came out, and it just was one of those videos, you know when you watch something and you go, he made that just for me. Do you ever feel like that? Or you read a book and go, they wrote that just for me. Well, that was one of those talks. And it just encompassed everything I'd felt, but I didn't know how to articulate. And it started me on this whole journey, which I'll share with you. Before we go into that, I want to ask, who likes winning things in the room? 2 of you. Okay, great. Oh, a few more than 2. Awesome. I don't have anything to give away. I was just curious. All right, so I want to take you on a little bit of a journey first because this is going to set the context of what I'm going to teach you this morning. So we are going to get into some teachings. We are going to actually do something. I'm a strong believer of ensuring that everyone in the room feels equal. Just because I happen to be up here today, you could be up here tomorrow. And I'm a big believer of being extremely transparent because society judge us based on what they want to see. Like Steve was saying, that person got really angry that he was on the cover of that magazine and shared himself. That's all his issue. But it's because sometimes people aren't overly transparent as well with what they're going through. So would it be okay with you if I share a really quick story? Is that okay? Are we all awake? Do we have our coffee this morning? Excellent. All right. Okay, so I'm going to share a story about a little Indian girl. This little girl was born in Bangkok, Thailand. And as she was born, the news travelled out to the waiting room that there was this beautiful, healthy baby girl that had just arrived into this world. And all the family that were waiting there burst into tears. But it wasn't tears of joy, it was tears of sadness. Because an Indian girl coming into the world is actually seen as a curse, because they're a liability, not an asset. As she was born, she already had a 2-year-old brother. So she was born into this environment, you're not wanted. You don't matter and you have no value. So this energy surrounded her during her childhood. At the age of 4, she moved out to country Victoria and grew up like a normal girl living on a farm with her family. At the age of 11, it had been organised by her grandmother, the hierarchy of the family, to betroth this 11-year-old girl to a man who was 9 years older than her living in Thailand. So here she was, this dark-haired, brown-eyed, tanned-skinned girl going to school in country Victoria where all of her friends were blonde and blue-eyed, wearing an engagement ring. You can imagine the isolation, the bullying, the butt of all jokes she was. At the age of 15 and a half, her Australian father who raised her found out about this situation. There was a huge party that had been organised, and unbeknown to him, it was the Australian engagement party with the Indian community. It was the first time in her life that all the attention was on her. She was allowed to get dressed up. She was allowed to wear makeup, pretty shoes and jewellery. She watched her mother and her daddy who raised her, who she idolised, having a fight across the room. And she was so confused. She couldn't understand, just for one night, could they not have made it all about her? What she didn't know was that he was unaware of this engagement. The next morning, she was called up to his office. He was an industrial chemist, a very clever man. He was a perfectionist. And the reasons you got called up to his office were maybe you didn't put the Vegemite back in the pantry, label facing out. Or you'd done a skid on your BMX bike, but you hadn't raked it back over. So as she was going up the hill to his office, she was trying to replay what she'd done wrong. So her whole life, she knew she was wrong. Even when she didn't say anything, she was always the one that got the blame. But as she turned up to his office, she saw the most compassionate man looking back at her, and she was so confused. As they sat down together, he held her hands and looked to her in her eyes and just asked her one question. Is this what you want? Can you imagine a child for her whole life being told what to wear, what to say, how to act, when to speak? Don't try and be funny. Leave the jokes to your brother. He's the funny one. Don't try too hard at school. It's not going to matter. In 6 months, you're getting married. All you need to know is how to start a family and clean a house. And here is this man she idolised, asking her her opinion. What felt like many minutes and thousands of tears, she finally uttered the word no. And he just said to her, I'll take care of it. It was a very difficult time because Indian girls, 1, don't speak, and 2, don't say no. So at the age of 17 and a half, she moved out. And for the first time, she was in a world where she could choose what she wanted to do, what she wore, who she spoke to, and who she wanted to become. She was very fortunate because the same day that she started work at 17 and a half at a plastics packaging company, so did her future husband. For those that haven't figured it out, I am that little Indian girl. Often we look at people for who they have become, not who they used to be. We judge them based on what they're wearing, what they're driving, how they present themselves. But how often do we actually ask, what's your journey? What's your story? We are all equal. We've just celebrated 25 years of marriage. And I figure, ladies, if you can hang on that long, you deserve a second ring. So that's the first 25 years and that's the second one. I reckon you can definitely ask for it. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. We went on to have our children really fast because I had been groomed literally from birth, start a family, start a family, start a family. So when I met my husband, I'm like, things are going to shrivel up. We have to start our family soon. So we had our first son when I was 22 and our second son, 26. And then we did something beautiful. When you've had a situation happen to you, you can either become victim or victorious. And for many years, don't get me wrong, I loved victimhood. Because when you've been in the shadows your whole life and you're told you're an introvert but you're actually an extrovert, and you've been put down, pushed down, blanded, performed and trained to be an incredible gymnast as a child, but you can never perform on stage because boys will see you and you're spoken for. When you're told not to worry about education because it's not going to matter, and you've got this dirty Year 11 report card with she wasn't here long enough to grade her, and you're holding senior positions down in corporate in Thailand, opening spas in the desert of the Middle East, running teams of 500, just because someone at some point believed in me. They saw who I could become, not who I was. That's why I'm such an advocate for mentorship. I was one myself for 10 years until we published our magazine. You need someone to believe in you before you see you, then show you the way. We gave the most beautiful gift to our daughter. I couldn't have any more children after my boys. And the doctor said words he should have known better to say to me: you can't have another child. And after I'd been told my whole life about things I couldn't do, that's not something you say. So we adopted our beautiful baby girl when she was 6 days old from India. So she wouldn't have the same path that I was heading down. She's now 15, fortunately has grown out of my heels, but still borrows my makeup. Anyone got a teenage daughter in the room? Aren't they fun? We need to, I know. Your face just said it all. Oh no. We need to join a wine club. But an amazing gift. Amazing gift. We named her Portia after the Shakespearean lawyer. Strong and determined, and she's fighting up to that name at the moment. But what does that tell you about your own journey? Think about anything that's happened to you. Do we let it define us and own us for everything that we are? Or do we take lessons from that and pay it forward? Bear with me. Who's still with me? Who's still on this journey with me? Okay. After being told I couldn't for so long, I played victim. Anyone who would listen to me long enough, I would share the story. But then I realised, who is that serving? As I share the victim story and put myself back in there, they are going back in that hole with me. And I woke up one day and I thought, I don't have a lot of friends. I wonder why. Who wants to be around negativity all the time? No one. So I thought, how do I shift this? At this stage, we were having our family. We'd moved to Thailand. I was working in the hotel industry, running a large group of spas. And then I started to realise something has to shift. I'm sure I was not born just for that. Maybe there's a bigger reason, a bigger why, a bigger purpose for me being here. Oprah said one day to her grandmother on the back porch, as they were about to go off and clean another house, she stood there and said to her grandmother, "This is not my reality. There is more for me. This is not my reality." I remember standing at 15, 6 months before the engagement party and everything shifted, looking out across a beautiful property on Tarago Dam in Neerim South, Gippsland. And I remember the wind was blowing, and my husband has a photo of this moment. And I remember saying to myself, this is not my life. This is not my life. Have you ever been in a situation where you're looking at your own reality and you're saying, this is not me? The power we have as human beings to make a choice is huge. We just need someone to believe in us. I am so grateful my dad asked me that one question. It literally transformed the rest of my life. I got to choose who I wanted to be when I grew up. I got to choose who I wanted to marry. I got to make all of these decisions to travel the world and live in other countries and open spas in the desert of the Middle East, in a dead-end street, in a residential area where no one would find me. And everyone said it's a failure. Haven't you heard of location? But I knew. Do you know when you just know? In here, I didn't listen to anything outside. I trusted my internal GPS system, my intuition, my why. Within 6 months of opening, we were fully booked with a 6-week waiting list. We had the Royals' attention. We were then asked by Etihad Airways to open my brand of spa for their 4,500 cabin crew. And all those people at school, when I walked my beautiful daughter into kindy, that laughed at me and said, there's that silly woman not spending her husband's expat money and going shopping every day, working her backside off 7 days a week to renovate this villa for a spa no one's going to come to. All of a sudden, they were all my friends. Interesting, isn't it? Have you ever had that? Never let anyone tell you you can't do something. Find someone who's done something as ridiculous, as hairy, and go and engage them to help you achieve your dream. Fast forward, we came back to Australia. Our boys were getting older and we wanted them to have the Australian life here growing up. Moved to the bay side of Brisbane. And I thought, I can't achieve what I've done and beat what I've done in the spa industry. So I became a personal stylist, image consultant, and opened a fashion boutique. Going extremely well, doing thousands of dollars a day without trying. We created a unique model, and then the rain fell. Who's from Brisbane? No one. You heard about the Queensland floods. The rain fell and it fell and it fell. And the road that took people out to the area where my shops were located was all but collapsed. So overnight, from doing nothing wrong, I was facing bankruptcy. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. Can you imagine when you've grown up with such negativity, what that feels like then to be considering bankruptcy? Every negative thought and word that had been spoken to me as a child was on loudspeaker in my ear. What were you thinking? You're an Indian girl. You can't do business. You can't make money. You should have just gone and got a job. I lay there on the bathroom floor at 2 o'clock in the morning, an absolute failure. And I had a choice to make. When I woke up in the morning, my accountant's suggestion, go bankrupt, insolvent, or, and I didn't know what that was. But here's one thing, ladies and gentlemen. I knew my why. And I knew if I stayed on that bathroom floor, the girls that we fundraise for in India that are sold into the sex trade and sold and married off at the very young age of even 5, those girls would continue to live in that environment, or I could get up. If your why is not bigger than your fear, it is not your why. And I promise you, by the time I finish with you this morning, you will have more clarity around your true purpose in life. You cannot say your why is your family. We are not born to become parents to fur babies or children. That's not the reason we are put onto this planet, and I will challenge you today with that thinking. I got myself up off that bathroom floor, and I woke up the next morning and I created 2 business plans. One, to start a networking group on the east coast of Australia, because if I was struggling as a business owner, so were others. We launched it. We ran for 4.5 years. We had 10 chapters on the east coast of Australia called the Why Network. Not about what you do. Don't tell me what you do from here until you tell me why you do it from here. I launched a magazine called Why Mag because I walked myself into a newsagent and I thought, if I can fix this, that'll fix this. And I was so disgusted because I'd been out of the country for 8 years. I didn't realise how bad the quality of magazines were on newsstands. Women in Australia and men, we deserve better than that. We don't want to be lied to, sold to, gossiped at, told that she's pregnant to read, oh no, she just ate a big roast lunch. It's disgusting what was going on, and I thought I can either complain about it or do something about it. No magazine experience. I cannot write to save myself, but I created YMag, and it was digital for 4.5 years. And then our readers actually contacted us, said, would you consider printing it? And here we are on newsstands around Australia and in airports, which is so hard to get into, as a printed product, about to put together our 8th issue from someone who has no clue still what she's doing. But I know my why. Every woman who reads this is empowered to be a better version of themselves. We don't put celebrities on the cover. This woman has 7 children, has lost children, has been on the streets as a homeless person, on meal tickets. She's making multi-million dollars a year now, based in the UK, because she found her why. We don't show celebrities. We show everyday business women and men and why they do what they do. That's why Australia is loving on it, because it's real. You've all gone so quiet. Are you okay? That's great. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Just checking you're all still here. You okay? I know it's pretty full on, right, for whatever day it is, Thursday morning. But the reason I share that is, guys, look, we're all the same. If I had the time, and I'm here until tomorrow lunch, I'd love to hear from you. I want to know your why. I want to know what gets you up every day, before our feet touch the ground every morning. If we're on the right side of the grass, high five yourself. First thing. And second thing, what is the impact you want to make today in one person's life? I'm so blessed because I was told I had nothing to say of any relevance. Isn't it ironic that I travel the world as a paid keynote speaker, and I only travel and speak for one person in any audience? I've been in some very large rooms. I speak for P&O cruise ship. I do all sorts of things in India, but I only turn up for one person. Because if you go out in your day to change everyone that you meet, you've already set yourself up for failure. Steve touched on this before about that guy that wrote the post. There's 3 types of business: our business, your business, and universal business. We can't change or stop whatever's happening in the universe today. There's apparently a big cyclone going to hit up home today, and I can't stop that. I have no control, so why would I take my time to worry about it? I cannot make a difference to that outcome. In the same vein, that as much as I've come all the way down here to help one person get a shift, I have no control over whether that will happen or not. As much as I want it to, you have to shift you. The only person I can control is my business and me. And every day, if I can just wake up, break up with who I was yesterday, and start fresh with who I want to become today. When I was getting ready for this presentation this morning, it was all about how do I help one person today realise that they can be more than who they are in their current reality. That's it. I normally have a line of people after I get off stage going, I'm your one. But that's on them, not me. So I'm going to start to play with some of you now and find out what your why is. Who would like to share why they do what they do? You either share or I'll pick on you anyway. No one. You're all too scared now. Come on, tell me about your business.
I help homeless.
Yes?
And people have been through really tough times. Run a coffee van down in Globe Lane.
Nice.
That's where it kind of all happens. And partner with different organisations and deliver emergency food.
What was your name?
Chaz.
Shaz, that's right. Oh yes, Shar, yes, got it. Okay, so Shaz, why is that so important to you to come up the front? 2 Sharons have got to stick together. And when you come, could you bring my water with you, please? That one at the front. Thank you. Thank you. Come up. Oh, you're welcome.
So I do what I do because...
Uncross, be relaxed. No one's going to bite you.
So I do what I do because I know that a lot of people that we help, they don't have anyone to listen to them. And they've had tough times as well from day dot till now. So I think the same thing. I think if I can share my experiences in my life, I like to think that at some point I will say the right thing to someone. It will be the right time for them to hear it, and then they will make the change and they'll do something different to what they've been doing.
Why is that so important to you?
Why is that so important? Because I know how fortunate I've been with different situations that I've...
That's okay, great. Emotions where your why lives. I always expect to make people cry in the first hour, otherwise I refund you.
Here it is.
I'm done. 30 minutes, yep, okay. Beat my record.
Because I know the different situations that I've been through at the beginning of my life and the last couple of years. If it wasn't for my family and Steve as well, he listens very well. My situation could have been so much worse.
So why is it so important now that you help other people experience the love and kindness and generosity that's been shown to you?
Because they don't always have someone to do that. And I just feel really fortunate. I'm so grateful that I have had people like that in my life, and I want to share that with other people.
Is it about the money for you?
No.
No, exactly.
Money's nice, but...
Yeah. Money's an energy.
Yeah.
The more we chase it, the faster it runs from you. When you make it about the people you're meant to help, it flows in abundance because it's an energy. So we attract it because when you're doing good, you'll attract the resources to help you do more good. So you'll get sponsorship and opportunities and people like me who run a magazine that may want to feature you on our website to help you get the word out. It just flows to you because you're doing it with the right heart. If you look at people that are constantly talking about money and chasing a deal and sign up now, there's 3 left, that doesn't work anymore. I don't think it ever did, to be honest. It's sharing your why. You walked in and you had that energy. And I didn't know we shared the same name then, but that's even cooler. But you walked in with that energy of serving. When you turn up to something like this, it's not what you take from it, it's what you give to it. And you will always receive something in return for that. You'll leave a better person. Well done. I do have a gift for you, and it matches your top. There you go. You're welcome. Well done, and well done on the work that you do. These bracelets, by the way, every July we have a national tour that we run called Why July. And all the funds that we raise from any products or any speaking that I do, we did a 3,500 kilometre tour from the Gold Coast down to here and then back up through the Blue Mountains and so on. And everything we raised, all the profits went to our girls in India. So those bracelets I actually had made for the tour and we donated 100% of the profits from it. So when you wear it, it's got some beautiful charms on it, but know that that bracelet made a difference to a girl in India. So that's for you, gorgeous. All right, so who else would like to come up and share their why with me? I don't bite. See, I didn't bite her. She's all good. She left intact and with a present. Come on. Oh, yes. Love it. Where's the mic? Oh, Steve's got it. Hi, what's your name? Patrick, nice to meet you. Come on up.
Good morning, everybody. So I've been lucky enough, ever since I was little, I always wanted to be an accountant. I know it's pretty nerdy, but...
Don't judge it. Don't
judge
judge.
But I always wanted to. I don't know why, it was just what I wanted to do. And then, so when I became an accountant, I started to realise that accountants don't really help people that much. They say they do, but they don't really. And I was just fortunate enough to be put in an environment where the people I was working with, we try and help people, or I think we do a little bit better than just the general accountant at helping people. And that just suits my things. I'm not really that perfect at getting all the numbers right 100% of the time and all that type of stuff.
Hang on a minute, stop. Let's hold the phone.
I know.
Patrick is an accountant and apparently he's a human being. He's not perfect.
Yeah.
Does that shock it? Who is perfect? Can you find me that person, please? So, no one's perfect.
Yeah, so, but where I get my greatest value and why I get up and go to work every day is that ability to talk to people and help them with their businesses.
Why is it so important to you that you get up and talk to people and help them in their businesses?
And I always think about this is, I don't know why it's so important to me. It's probably what I've got to figure out, but I just know that I couldn't do anything else. So I'm the type of person that goes to a dinner party and then tries to help people with their business. Or it's just in me. It's part of me, I guess.
Okay, and what joy do you get from seeing the result of the help that you give?
I probably get total joy out of it. It's probably, it's my entire enjoyment comes from that.
Why does it matter to you that that business person gets help?
I feel for them. I can relate to them, I guess.
You can relate to them. Okay, so how can you relate? What's happened to you or for you or someone you know love that you saw a situation you couldn't help?
It's a bit of a cliche, really, and I don't think this is the entire answer to it, but my mum and dad were the generic Aussie battlers. My dad still is. My dad's a painter, and some days it's good, there's lots of money. Then other days he's applying for jobs at Bunnings or trying to wash cars at a car dealership, and there's not enough money or not enough going on. So I think it's the we had a good childhood. There was nothing wrong with it, but it was that traditional Aussie battler. But I don't even think that's the total story of why I do it. But my greatest passion is when you can just instill little bits of, or get people just to think about their business or their income in just a little bit better way, and just if they can make small steps in the right direction, then I go home as a pleased person, and I like to I jump out of bed 5 days a week to do that. 6 maybe.
Okay, so it's interesting, and it's because you are an accountant, everything has to fit into a box or a column on a spreadsheet. So you actually have uncovered part of your why, but you're trying to discount it by saying it's not quite there yet. So I think part of your why is absolutely watching your parents go through, like you said, as Aussie battlers, not quite having everything. You know that you have the skills and the toolkit now to help other people not struggle. So essentially that is around your why. You've watched your family go through that, so now you want to help others not go through that. So that's a big enough why to start working on. There'll be more under that we may not be able to uncover now, but that's definitely on the right path. And often our why will come from our own story, like mine. You know, it costs $60 a month to take one of these girls, only 1 in 100 rural girls in India, where I'm going in April, only 1 in 100 go to school. But it only costs $60 a month to take one of the other girls off the fields and give her 3 hot meals and an education in a school uniform. So that's my why. So I will do whatever I can to help you find your why and help you grow so that I could help those girls. You see what I mean? It links back to my story. I want those girls to have the same choice my daddy gave to me by asking me if this is what I wanted. I want to pay forward massively that one gift he gave me. Not just say, thanks, Dad, I've got a great life. Pay it forward. So you're doing that to help others not struggle in business. So well done. That's definitely on the right path. Well done. Oh, you can take that with you. Okay, who else wants to come up? Yes, certainly can. Jerome, was it? Oh my gosh. Who was I telling Megan before? I never remember names. I need a prize. Who's got a gift for me?
Morning, everyone. I do love being on stage.
He looked pretty comfortable.
I spoke this time last year.
Oh, did you? Beautiful.
Thank you, Steve, for the journey we've had so far as well, and thanks for this group. They're an awesome group of people. So, can I say thank you for the journey you shared this morning? It was so powerful, and I was doubting whether I'd come here to do this. I thought, should I stay at home and work, put my head down and make sales calls and build my income? And that moment, you realise why you should have come happened today. So
you're welcome. You can go home now. I'm joking. Thank you.
I sometimes struggle with the why, because, and I'm not. I probably maybe speak for other people as well, because depending on what stage you are in life, you find a different why.
Of course you do.
Sorry,
It evolves.
You find a different why. But listening to you, your why hasn't changed. It's been that firm, great foundation, and I find that inspiring because it grounds you more. It keeps you centred. So is that within all of us when you're asking for that why, or does it change and evolve?
Look, it absolutely evolves. I've gotten absolute clarity on it probably in the last sort of 6-7 years. I've always known that I wanted to pay forward what my dad did, but I didn't quite know how. And as I was young and raising my family and then adopting our daughter, I couldn't see how was I going to do that. But I knew that there was something within that. And I guess it comes back to, remember this, we all have our own answers. But we may not be asking the right questions of ourselves. Hence, I love rooms like this. Hence, I love mentors, because they'll ask you something and you go, why didn't I think of that? And it just peels back another layer. We all walk into environments or play on Facebook with a mask. And one of the reasons I think that, my tribe, my friends love me and I'm doing what I'm doing is because I don't wear any masks. If it's been a bad day, it's been a bad day. Share that. Don't always put the perfect selfie up. And I think it's about really tapping into what it is. So tell me about your business and then tell me why you do what you do.
I'm a business performance specialist, so my real why, and I've really thought about this over and over again, and it seems to chop and change. But listening to you this morning, it's really reconnected me. Growing up, I was very shy, very, very shy. So if I would hold the back, be standing behind my mum's leg, holding it. A lot of people can't believe that about me. personality.
That was
today.
me. I
Yeah,
get it.
very, very shy, very, didn't want to express myself. So my real why is really helping people. So when I start working with someone, the first thing you do is find out their philosophy, ground them in a philosophy, because discipline comes from being a disciple to something. And if you haven't got that, you haven't got a philosophy. So how do you make decisions about your own life? So that's the first thing you do. So my philosophy is to truly live a great life. We must find the courage to express ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That's my philosophy, and that comes from being a shy kid. Yeah. So when I'm working with someone, are you fully expressing yourself through your business in those 4 quadrants? Are you becoming more intelligent in what you do? Are you emotionally expressing yourself, connecting with the heart? Are you physically the best specimen you can be in that moment? And are you spiritually, is there meaning in what you do as well and growing? So that's my why, but that all comes from being a shy kid. Because I think when we can fully express ourselves, even if it's sexual, if it's anything, fully express ourselves physically and emotionally in those moments, we're going to experience joy and ecstasy. And we can't do that unless we fully express ourselves and be open and vulnerable to that as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Why is it so important to you, though, that others express themselves in that way?
Well, I think we attract certain people into our life based on what they're going through. And a lot of people see me as a confident person, but they don't see that you were speaking about the journey you go on to become confident in doing that. Am I the finished article? No way. You know, we're always moving to that next level if you're an ambitious person. So I think they see that, but they don't see the journey you've gone on. So you're helping them through that journey of going.
Why is it so important that you help them, though? Like, out of everyone in the room, why is that your role?
It's not I don't see it as a role, I see it as a way of serving.
Okay.
For what reason
Thank
have
you.
you come to me?
Okay.
Rather than you could have gone to
And
that.
why does it matter if you help them, though? What does it matter that you take them from that place to then seeing who they can become?
I think the feeling of being part of someone's
Go back to neutral.
Okay.
Take
Thank
your
you.
hands out.
Thank you.
It's okay.
I think going back to feeling part of someone's transformation gives you a sense of fulfillment, and it's not about the money.
Why does it matter to you that you get a sense of fulfillment, though?
Good question. It just makes me feel like a better person.
Why does that matter?
It makes me feel like I'm contributing.
Why does it matter you're contributing?
Because I'm living with a sense of purpose then.
Great. See how we're getting there? So we take and I loved everything you said, but there's a lot we've been groomed and conditioned by society to pitch what we want others to hear. And there's a lot of wonderful stuff you said in there, but it's not the reason you get up every day. And we've just got to peel the layers back. And I could spend 2 days on this, apologies to the other speakers. I won't, I promise. But I could, because we've been conditioned to wear all these layers that we don't need. Our tribe are waiting to see the purest form of us. It's not about, we don't airbrush in our magazine. We don't hide anything. Baby bellies, lines, wrinkles, you bring it on, because it's realness people want. Our vulnerability in our story, if emotion comes up, never stop it. I've spoken on some big stages, and if I get emotional in my story, it's my story, which is why I need to share it third person, because I used to share it first person. I couldn't get through my talk. So now I disconnect myself, and I normally find half of the room realise it's me and half go, oh my God, that's her. So find a way to get it out there, but never mask any of that. And I need you to keep drilling down on that. Keep exploring it over the morning tea break, and just keep digging, because the faster you get to that real internal GPS guiding system, you'll actually find, if you look back on your life, there's been little snippets of it all the way. And now you can completely package it. I don't know what your business is like and if it's exactly where you want it to be, but if there's always room for growth in all of our businesses. If you can truly connect all those dots and put that language into your marketing speak, you're an absolute client attraction magnet, because people just want to be around that, and they want to help you, for you to help them get that feeling, and it's beautiful. So keep digging deep into that, because that's where the magic lies. And I promise you, the world is sick of all the show ponies. That needs a round of applause. Aren't we not sick of all the show ponies? sick of all the lies and the fabrication. We are human beings. Don't feel like you've connected with someone because you like to post on Facebook. Pick the phone up and say, well done. So connect into that and you watch your business shift. Keep drilling into that. Good. That's
Thank you
good.
so
And
much.
stay neutral always
Do I get a
so you can
bracelet?
receive no bracelet. Do you have a partner? Do you want it? Do you want a bracelet? You can have it. All right. So who else would like to come up? Yes, come up. See? Well, so you went first, Shaz. Go you. And now everyone's like, oh, come. Awesome. What's your name? Anna. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for your beautiful words.
Pleasure.
I guess I can say what I do for a living,
Yes.
what brings money into the bank. But I think one of the things that you made very clear is that it's an internal why. So we all play many roles in our daily lives. So I would like to maybe reflect more on that. For those who are curious of what I do for a living, I work for one of the big multinationals who I believe from a multinational perspective has shown how important it is to put purpose at the core of our business. But my personal why within that business would be more around my impact on the people that are around me, like people in my team who I like to listen to and understand what drives them and how I can personally help them with their why, or like what are their barriers and how can I help them overcome those barriers.
Okay. Why is that important to you?
Because I believe that we all have our own talents, our own strengths, and everyone should be encouraged and inspired to reach their potential in that way.
But why does that matter? What does it matter if they go home at the end of the day, didn't reach their potential? Why does that matter to you?
Because I believe in like positive energy, positive psychology, and like in a very idealistic way of saying it, I guess, making this world a better place if we all feel positive about ourselves. I think a lot of conflict comes from the fact that people are insecure or scared of things. So if we can all overcome these fears, we will probably also be less likely to portray that on the people around us. So,
But it's coming from somewhere. Where is it coming from? What's happened in your background, your past, your corporate journey, your personal life? It's a safe room. What's happened there that allows you every day to get up and say, I need this to be the change I want to see in the world? We're still not getting to the heart of it. Are you in the right role?
in my current job,
Are you making a difference?
I'm questioning that. I'm questioning that.
That's why I don't get invited on corporate stages. I spoke at a corporate stage up in Darwin. Half the room wanted to quit
Yeah.
because they're like, I'm not living my way.
But and I
Never
think,
got invited
I think
back.
that's why I started coming up. You're saying that I think there are more roles we play
Okay,
in our
so
day-to-day life.
Let's go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Let's go back a step.
Okay.
Pretend you're not working where you are right now.
Yes.
Okay? If you could do anything tomorrow, I mean, apart from coming here, okay, Monday. If you could do anything on Monday that would make a difference using your passion, your joy, your genius zone, what would you be doing?
I'll be a politician with purpose.
Politician with purpose. Okay, explore that. Why is it important? Because politician, that means you've got the microphone, you've got the voice. What are you trying to create change in?
I guess broader society, but on what I currently like to do is taking the small steps by what you said as well, making a change for one person.
Yes.
And if you can create change for that one person.
But why does that matter? Why does that matter if that person has change or not? Why does it matter to you?
Because I believe in that there is a flow-on effect.
Yes.
If I can trigger one person to feel good about themselves or inspire or be positive, that they will then have a flow-on effect through
And why does
their
that matter
networks.
to you? Why do you go to sleep at night?
Yeah.
I'm drilling her hard, poor love. I'll buy you a coffee on the break, or maybe a scotch. Why does it matter when you put your head down at night? Like for example, I know someone will get a shift today because I push you hard, right? But I will go to sleep tonight upstairs knowing I helped someone today move closer to living their abundant, purposeful life. That matters to me because I'm the why woman. Why would it matter to you if you help one person or not? Don't overthink it.
Because my purpose in life is to create positive change.
Right. Okay, why? Why do you want to create change? Get out of your head, hop into your heart. Why does it matter to create positive change? Keep with me.
Yes.
Get out of your head.
I guess because I believe I see the positive in people.
Yes.
But why?
You see the positive and you want to get that out there?
Yes.
Okay, why? Why do you want to see more of that?
Because seeing smiling faces makes me feel good.
Okay, why?
Because I love the positive energy.
Yeah. Okay, so it's about that difference you're wanting to make. There's more there. It's a little guarded. So you've got to spend some time on this. There's more of a story there that you may or may not want to share right now, and that's fine because it is being recorded. So have a chat with me on the break. Have a chat with me at lunch or if you're coming to the dinner, because I want to try and get to that, because the minute we can really let go of that, it is about getting out of our head, not answering it based on what we think we want people to hear. I say stuff randomly. I'm the most random person out there. I'll talk about this and I'm on to this, and my tribe go, I'll stay with her. I know she's going to come back at some point, because I talk from here. Like Steve said, do you have a power button? No, I don't, because I don't know. I wouldn't know what's on that screen. I'm off on something else. You've got to find that place. It's the chaotic madness of your why. And it's from here, and it's intuitive and it's heartfelt. You can't structure that and put that on a clicker on a PowerPoint. So you've got to keep taking those layers away. And when we are in the corporate world, again, I did the corporate thing in Thailand. I know what it's like. You've got to be within this. That's what they're engaging you for. This, you need to look like this, do this, here's your job description, here your KPIs, go. There's a world out here. At some point, I'm not saying resign on Monday, please don't blame me for that. I did not tell her to resign video. But at some point in life, either bring that you-ness into your job or look at how you're going to make that difference at some point.
But then I still think or my mind is then trying to align with the fact that I believe that even though on some levels I may not find my purpose in my job, but there will always be little parts of it where I will find that.
Yes.
So even though I may not agree with pushing for sales or things like that, I find the purpose in dealing with one individual of my
Yes,
team
absolutely.
who I believe I can make a difference for.
Absolutely. Remember, we can't change anyone else though. They have to be ready to receive that change. Yeah. You can only change you.
But I can facilitate
absolutely
the change. So if they
and see the result.
I get very much
Great.
joy out of listening to what they're and analyzing what kind of person I think they are, and then connect the dots and see how
she just come to life. That wasn't there before. So you've come to life. You've actually found it within your role. So how do you do more of that in your role? Because you said there's only little parts of it. So how do you move yourself into a role where you could do that all day, every day? Would that be a happy place for you? Would you be happy to be doing that all day, every day? Yeah? So how do you start working towards that? You need to think about that.
Yes.
How you can
Have
start
coffee.
incorporating.
Start with
Coffee with some scotch that I owe you at morning tea. No, but it's about asking those questions. Because think about it, we spend how much time in our work, our job, our businesses? It's a lot of the week. If we're not loving it, what are we doing it for? And my other favourite question, I promise I'll let you go. If you only had one more year left, Steve Jobs, what did he say? Live every day as if you're going to die tomorrow. If you had 1 year left, would you don't need to answer this, but would you be doing what you're doing now? If you had 1 year left to make an impact before you're going to exit stage right out of this planet, would you be doing what you're doing now? Don't need to answer that, but it's a question you need to think about. Because if the answer's no, what are you doing?
I'd spend less time behind the computer and more time talking to people.
Aha, so your role needs to change, okay? So we got there in the end. Give her a round of applause, and I have a black bracelet for you because it matches your outfit. Thank you so much. Sorry, I did push you quite hard, but we got there. I think it's all about getting shifts. 10 minutes, okay. We can do this. All right, 10 minutes. Who wants to be? Oh, now everyone wants to come up. Okay, I saw your hand first, and then I might get to you if we get time. So come on up. I've got no more bracelets though, unless you want the one on the floor that I dropped. What's your name? Mossy. Nice to meet you, Mossy. Tell me about you and your business and your why.
Yeah, like I've got a
Paintball.
Well, my son, my 23-year-old boy, is taking over paintball 1st of July. 12 more weekends of work, can't wait. 1st of June.
Nice.
I guess when it comes to the why, I'm listening to everyone. Like, I look at people like Shaz and even Mark, who works a lot in Aboriginal communities and that, and Shaz, like their why, like they never lose their why. And through our businesses, we support a lot of things, both internationally and domestically. But I find that with the pressures of business and people and just the grind, that I tend to lose focus of my why. And before I started business, I was in community services, worked for docs and intensive foster care and stuff like that. And that was quite draining, but really fulfilling. I felt like I had a real purpose-driven life.
So you went from that to paintball.
Yeah, it was
Sorry, I had to just say.
it's a long story.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Drinks tonight, tell me.
So for me, like I really only feel complete when I'm living a purpose-driven life, like when I'm in that significant legacy phase. Outside of that, I just feel like I'm grinding, and I feel a little bit empty.
Yep.
So I probably don't know what my why is, and
Okay.
you'll drill me, and that's why I stood up here. I'm like, I want to be drilled and get down to my why.
I need to bring a drill on stage, hey? That would be a good prop. Yeah.
But the other thing is I want to know how to maintain that why. Like Nath over there, like I know what his why is, and it's very evident in his life and all that. So
Is that you?
yeah, so actions speak louder than words, and you know one of the things I said I struggle with is consistency. So that's I've done enough talking.
No, that's all good. No, it's great. I need that information.
Yeah.
So what would make you feel less empty?
I guess I always feel fulfilled when I'm in the place of giving and not taking.
Okay, so what have you done or what could you do that allows you to give?
We've done a lot of things. So my other business, which is DigiDrop, I love giving and helping small business. You know, that fulfills me. But paintball's my steak, you
Right.
know, and that's what feeds us.
Yes.
So I have to do that, but it doesn't fulfill me.
No.
But there's a level of responsibility, you know, and so I understand the weight of that responsibility, and I have to maintain that.
With staff and requirements and so on. Yeah, okay.
Keep my wife in a lifestyle that she's accustomed to. I got 10 more years to get the other ring.
Okay.
I'll start saving.
Okay. All right. So if you could do anything Monday that would make you feel like you are making a difference, you wouldn't be able to sleep Sunday night knowing that you're going to do this thing, what would that be? What would that look like?
Listen, it's I'd be on a plane in the orphanage that we support in Africa, working, doing stuff that really fills me, but that's only short spurts on a daily basis. That's what I.
Why does that matter to have that orphanage? Where does that come from?
I just I have a passion. I hate injustice.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate injustice, and you know, you talk about the sex slave trade in India, and we've supported Destiny Rescue, and I have this fantasy of going into those brothels and pulling those kids out day, like that's big picture, like that's extreme. On a day-to-day basis, like the thing that fulfills me.
But hang on, Mossy. We're not getting to why does it matter to go make that difference to those kids? Why is it so important to you? Like, out of everyone, why do you need to go rescue and save those children?
There's stuff that happened in my childhood.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Okay.
That impacted how I feel
Yes.
about kids.
Okay.
And definitely through docs, pedophilia and all that sort of stuff. I saw the extreme. So I've seen the extreme, not the surface stuff. So I guess that's impacted me massively, and I'm a big sook, so I don't want to cry.
Why? I expect tears.
I'll hold my own.
No.
Yeah, so like, but I don't wake up in the morning and go, I want to save kids.
No. It's the
and
injustice, you will use that word.
I wake up in the morning and I don't want to be cliche and say I just want to be the best person I can be, but
Why do we label stuff? A few people have said that, I don't want to be this, why can't we be? Why can't we label not label as in a bad label, but why isn't it okay that you wake up and say, I want to be the best version of me? It's the tagline of our magazine, be the best version of yourself. Why is that not okay?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to be cliche about it.
Right. Okay.
I've been with Steve, I don't know, for 4 years, and he's seen the changes in me, and I think as we go through life, as we get older, we look at things differently. Wisdom changes, and for me, the most important thing is what happens behind the curtain, not what's in front of the curtain. That's where I put my focus.
Have you looked at doing any work with youth?
I used to be I was a youth worker for many years, and I've spoken to youth on many occasions. I used to do resi care with sexual abuse children and all that sort of stuff. My wife won't let me go back to that, and honestly, I think that chapter's done in my life. But I love helping people that need help. I just love it. I feel so blessed. I'm in a place of real gratitude, but it still doesn't bring me to what is my foundational why. And that's what I was listening to everyone, and I was listening to you drill down. Your why is very clear, and the story was amazing. And listening to it, and I was on the same with Jerome. I was like, why am I here today? I've listened to so much leadership. As soon as you started speaking, I put my iPad down. I went, okay, this is amazing. So thanks for that. But
Pleasure.
I'm like, I really want that foundation that when all the crap, when you're in the eye of the storm, you can just go back to that foundation and rebuild. Am I making sense?
Absolutely, and there's a bigger conversation. I think there's some things I need to talk to you about that during morning tea, lunch tonight if you're coming to the dinner. Yeah. There's a bigger conversation. There's a bigger conversation there, and there's a few sort of things you've said where you're actually wanting to do, but there's some constrictions around you doing them. Yeah. So there's got to be a happy medium, because it's like you're wanting to be and do these things, but there's some constrictions around not being able to do them. So it's like your why is being a bit stifled. So maybe it needs to be an adjusted version of your why to give you that sense of fulfillment, because you started by saying you're empty. It makes you feel empty. So we've got to and you want to fix some of the injustices. So there's got to be a way we link all of those together.
Yeah.
And it's a bigger conversation. I want to talk to you though.
Yeah, cool.
Okay?
Thanks.
Is that all right? Give him a round of applause for being so open. Thank you. Okay. Whew. Yeah, 2 minutes? Okay, I can wrap it up in 2 minutes. All right, who's enjoyed this morning? Just yell out some things from the room. Your hand went up, lady on the phone. Sorry, I said that with love. Tell me what you... I love you too. Tell me what you enjoyed about this morning. Ah, I would imagine so. Guess what? I come back on after morning tea break. And I have a good memory. Excellent. No. Thank you. Thank you. I pride myself on that. So thank you for seeing what I'm projecting, because this is me. Meet me down the street, it'll be the same thing. And I don't believe a stage makes me better or than anyone. And I hate the word I'm just whatever. So thank you for sharing that. Who would like to share something else from this morning? Some takeaway. Yes. Yeah, I have a necklace to prove it. It has to be. It reminds me every day of why I do what I do. And, birthstones of my 3 kids and a beautiful diamond from my husband, and it sits over my heart space, and it reminds me of the difference I'm here to make. It has to be, because if it's not, your fear will eat you every single day. When you're trying to put, make magazines you've got no experience in, or open spas in the desert, or run teams when you've got no corporate experience, no university degrees, your why has to be bigger than all of that stuff. And it has to come from here. So thank you for realising that. Yes? Great, thank you. It takes the pressure off. Because if we go in to try and make others do something, good luck with that. Try and stop that sun going down tonight. Put all your energy into it. Why? It's not going to make a difference. Focus on you. Break up with who you were yesterday and reconnect yourself with who you are today, and be the best version of you today. Tomorrow will all be a better version again. Yes, Jerome. Yeah. 100%. Look, I've achieved some great things. After the floods, I went broke to BMW, which was the name of my first book. I fell into business mentoring. I then got invited to speak on stages because the title was catchy and the journey was amazing. And it all came back to your why morphs and changes, but my overall why comes back to that moment. I sat with my dad at 15 and a half, and he asked me, is this what you wanted? And he gave me a choice and no one had ever given me before. And I wanted to pay that forward. I just never knew how. And as I grew up and into the mum and nanny that I am today, I now know why that moment happened. And it's one of those crossroads we all have. So it's about which way do you go. So we're going to break for morning tea. Steve's looking at me weirdly. I need to get off. And we'll break for morning tea. Have a great rest, and we'll